Welcome to Rising to Excellence Admin Training. This video examines the use and options available to admins today for workflow, productivity, and time management. We offer affordable video presentations focused on the administrative professional career at an affordable price. Webinars are designed to be viewed during your commute, while waiting in line, or during your downtime. Thank you for joining us today, and let's get started. Use all the tools is a concept with lots of trial and error. It will most definitely change over time as apps change and new, better options become available. In this video, we will look at why we should use all the tools, what tools are best, the top 10 favorites, and to ask you to share your favorites. What works for you may not work for your office mate or someone who you know in another industry. Many of these tools have become specialized just for a specific industry. So today we will discuss why use all the tools, what tools are best, top 10 favorites, and tell us your favorites. By trying to and using all the tools available to you, you can amass a stable of useful apps, programs, and add-ons to streamline, organize, and manage your work life. We all love tips and tricks, so share them with your colleagues and friends. So why should we use all the tools? You never know what works best for you until you try them out. What may look good in the description of the app may end up being cumbersome or difficult to navigate. Some may be too simple. Some may be too complex. I read somewhere several years ago that something like 80% of all apps downloaded to your phone are deleted immediately because they did not live up to what was described when you bought, or hopefully didn't pay for. The goal of choosing an app can be broken down into 3 segments. Use the best. Don't cheap out unless it's truly the best you've tried. Aim for mastery. The proof is in how you use it. And the success ratio, 80% internal, 15% external, and 5% based on the tool. What that means is don't use the free version unless that really suits your needs best. Many apps are extremely reasonably priced, and a few dollars a month may provide time-saving results, and if you're using them for work, you can ask for reimbursement. When downloading anything to company assets, such as computers, tablets, or cell phones, always be sure to ask your IT department if that app is secure and if your system will interface with its current programs and network platform. You don't want to save your budget files in an unsecure app and have the file hacked. You could be liable for damages, so always double check your policies and with your IT department. If given the green light by IT, use the same app with the same logon and password on all your devices so you can be productive while waiting in line or riding in a car just to get done what you need to do. If they say no to your choice, ask what they recommend. There may be one in mind that meets the requirements along with yours. Remember, devices you are issued at work do not belong to you and are subject to review and inventory at any time. You may be wondering what tools are the best. Well, that certainly depends on the user, your thought patterns, your style of learning, and the nature of your job and your industry. Make sure you're using the free trials. Many did not need a credit card up front, which is great. You may want to share your find with your boss to see if he or she is willing to pay for the cost of the app. This is, of course, after you determine that this is the best app for your use. The boss may want to institute it department-wide so others can be just as efficient as you. Sometimes the smaller solution is best. The larger, all-encompassing apps may look good when reading through the description, but may be cumbersome or too complex for your purposes. When searching for a solution, pay attention to the things that you struggle with to pinpoint exactly what problem you're trying to solve. Just throwing an app at it may help short term, but is it really the best fit for what you need? Just because your friend uses Dropbox doesn't mean it will work for you. And again, you need to know if your IT department approves of Dropbox. Many of these apps have been banned at my campus, so they are taken right off the table. And it's mostly for security reasons. Some companies ban them, like websites even, like Craigslist and eBay, since they're only for shopping and probably not the most productive destination during your day. I've seen some companies even ban Yahoo because that means you're on your personal email instead of doing your work. I've even seen Facebook and Twitter banned, except for those who are using it for the business. And probably some have banned TikTok just as being time wasters. Keep trying similar apps until you find one that meets your needs. A good fit is often hard to find, but just keep trying. So my top 10 favorites or programs, ones I use often. While I do not use most of the trending apps, I have heard of most of them. My favorites, I do use Facebook for personal use as well as business use. I have Instagram for personal use and have set up an account for the business. My office uses Zoom paid and basic licenses, and I have a personal Zoom so I don't mix work and business, and they're aligned with different email addresses. I rarely use Messenger because it's difficult to use and the editing just isn't there. And I've had a Netflix account, but since I prefer older TV shows and movies, it wasn't worth the expense for me. I tried Monday, and it was confusing and a little too much for what I needed. They also bombarded me with emails, but it may be just the ticket for what you need. You should know that WhatsApp has a terrible reputation for being a sex trafficking app. So if you use it, just be careful. Some offices are using Google Meet rather than Zoom or Teams. It just depends on what the leadership wants and what their systems can support. Keep in mind that new apps are released daily across the US, so keep your eye on the trending list so you can catch the new releases to see if they're what you're looking for. If you're looking for it, I would imagine someone else is too. Many of these applications can be used as add-ons to your core programs like Microsoft Outlook, Word, Teams, or Google Workspace with Gmail, making the integration seamless. I've added my paid Zoom license to my Teams account and to my Google Calendar. It makes setting up meetings so much quicker and easier. The added program is just an interface between the two systems, and it adds a drop-down menu in the dialog box of the event you're setting up on the calendar. So you can choose which option you want for that specific meeting. No more setting up meetings in Zoom or Teams, copying and pasting the link and additional information into your calendar event file. It automatically adds it for you. I added a to-do list to my Teams account, but I'm finding I prefer a Word document or even a handwritten list. I can't print out the list on Teams, and for my brain to function, I need the piece of paper in front of me, or I will not remember to use it. I'm an out of sight, out of mind processor and have trouble using apps just on my screen. Apps are great, and they can assist you in getting your tasks done more efficiently. Just don't feel tied to them if they aren't working out. Don't buy until you try, and find the best solution, not just any solution. Your experience may be just what someone else needs to point the way for a great solution for them. So tell us your favorites. You can email me. Hopefully I'm going to get a chat bot up on the website. Stay tuned for that. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. I'll leave you with these words by Walt Disney. Sometimes the simple or old way is best. We've raised a generation of young adults that do not know what life is like before the computer or the smartphone. Just watch the videos of teenagers trying to use a landline telephone. They don't know how to talk to someone in the same room without texting them. They don't know how to make a phone call on a landline rotary phone, especially rotary phones. Without meaning to, we've overcomplicated our lives with work demands, home responsibilities, and our social media choices, as well as our politics. Hopefully, one of the options mentioned in this webinar will open the door to expanding your horizons to create a better workflow or streamline a process, and in doing so, make you the rockstar admin by standing out in the crowd as an efficient, reliable worker. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I hope this was useful. As always, be sure to check out my other videos as they become available and look for additional content for Rising to Excellence admin training on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Self-care for admins is coming up next. Bye for now.